And I have owned a pontoon boat.
All right. All right. For judging Judy. All right.
Hello, you are listening and maybe immediately skipping Judging Judy. For those who have already listened to episodes in the past, thanks for coming back. For those new to the pod, thanks for turning off Smartless for a few minutes and giving Judging Judy a shot. We don't have Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, or that other guy, but we do have a game of Hangman at the end of this thing. Does Bateman have Hangman? I sure hope Bateman doesn't have Hangman. Each week we explore an episode of Judge Judy to determine if Judy was innocent or guilty. Sure, I'll do play-by-play for the cases themselves, but what I'm really trying to figure out is if Judy is guilty or innocent. Did she do her job? Did she deliver justice? Let's jump right into things. This week's episode originally aired November 6th, 2020. For those keeping track, that was 6 days after the most depressing Halloween on record. Reply in the comments with what candy you were eating while you sat alone crying during the end of the world. Let's check in with Professor Wikipedia to see what else was going on 11/6/2020. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows tests positive for COVID-19. I will remind you that Mark Meadows was later held in contempt of Congress for refusing to cooperate with the January 6th Select Committee and indicted by grand juries in Georgia and Arizona over false elector plots in each state. I guess COVID wasn't the worst thing to happen to him. Texas surpasses 1 million confirmed cases of COVID-19, becoming the first state in the US and the world's first subnational unit to surpass that milestone. The European Union announces sanctions against President Alexander Lukashenko, his son Viktor, Police Chief Ivan Turtle, and Chief of Staff Igor Sergeyenko. Nothing about Belarus is a laughing matter, except that they had a police chief turtle. That's funny. Undeniably funny. Okay, thanks Wikipedia. You did well for Professor Papier-Mâché Studies. Let's look at the high temperatures for select cities across the world on November 6th, 2020. 82 in Corpus Christi, Texas. Body of Christ, that's hot. 91 in Windhoek, Namibia. 57 degrees in Bar Harbor, Maine. 45 in Nizhny Novgorod, Russia. A little too cold for Nizhny dipping, if you know what I mean. 78 in Warner Robins, Georgia. And 52 in Kilkenny, Ireland. Undoubtedly Stan Marsh and Kyle Broflovski's least favorite city.
Oh my god, you killed Kenny, you bastard!
And finally, we have the top 3 movies for that day back in 2020. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 at the box office that day were Let Him Go, Come Play, and The War with Grandpa. I haven't heard of any of these, but I don't know if that's because it was COVID and we all had more important things to do than check in with Maria Menounos at the local Regal. I'm going to zero in on Come Play for its fantastic allegory. I don't like horror movies, so I wouldn't have and won't see this movie, but listen to this premise. A gruesome monster named Larry manifests itself through smartphones and mobile devices while trying to take Oliver, a lonely boy desperate for a friend. So it's literally about everyday life post, 2015 or so. Wrap it up, call it a monster, throw in some jump scares, but this Larry is every single person with more than 25 followers on the internet. And Oliver isn't just a lonely boy desperate for a friend, he's a lonely everybody, desperate for everything. Come Play has a 57% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has Gillian Jacobs, who's a lot of fun. Go watch it and cry over the general state of things. Alright, let's hop to the episode. Judy hits us with facts right off the bat with this week's intro.
Somebody's usually responsible for an accident.
Yes, but has she heard of what I call the Urkel defense?
Did I do that?
Alright, so it looks like we've got a car accident here, not, an accident involving soiled pants. Hey, that's where my mind went first. That's me, okay? That's who I am. But I know it's a car accident specifically because this cold open's got some very helpful diagrams. We got a hand pointing at 2 cars crashing on North La Brea Avenue. For those not in or familiar with Los Angeles, La Brea has lots of iconic landmarks along its route. The Jim Henson Company Studios, you've got the original Pink's Hot Dogs, and there's a Target, just in case you need a pair of socks and you hate yourself.
But she was already in that lane.
No.
For those not in or familiar with LA driving, no one has any idea what lane they're in, so this is not at all unusual. Lanes in LA are kind of like taxes. Pretend they don't exist and they'll go away.
I'm actually liking this case.
With that rictus grin, you're not fooling anybody, Judy. It's gonna take a lot more than a car accident in front of Irv's Burgers to make you happy.
Now their conflict is at a crossroads.
I guess you could say their dialogue broke down. Maybe one of them blew a gasket. These puns make me feel like a dipstick. That's enough cold open, let's get to the episode. Our plaintiff is Meredith Less. As far as last names go, Less is kind of a wet blanket, a downer. I don't expect someone with the last name Less to win a Nobel Prize or an Olympic medal, maybe second place or honorable mention. Yeah, it's definitely got honorable mention vibes insofar as last names go. It'd be like if her name were Meredith Tried or Meredith Here. Meredith is suing William Frankie. Meredith says that the accident she got into with William was his fault, but
Did nothing about it for a year.
I thought car accidents were like toothaches or ulcers. Give it a year, and then see a judge about it if it hasn't gotten any better. Okay, but this is actually a post-COVID thing. Now that Meredith was able to get the car into the shop and repaired, she can finally get around to having William pay for it. Unclear as of yet which shot the car got, Moderna, J&J, or Pfizer, but I'll let you know if they tell us. Meredith was driving a 2009 Lincoln. She had liability insurance, not collision, which I think means she had the insurance that Shaquille O'Neal sells.
The icy hot sleeve. There's never been anything like it.
No, not that one.
It comes with up to 2 years of ink in the box. And then, when you finally need more ink, instead of spending all those loanies and tonies on expensive carcharoonies, just buy another set of these bad boys.
No, not that one either.
Hey, you want affordable auto insurance from a company that provides great customer service? Check out the General.
Yeah, that one. No, actually, turns out I was wrong. She's got the gecko. But, you know, I like the jokes I just made, the ones about Shaq, and I'm not going to do that, the lizard's job for it by plugging its company, so we'll roll with it.
What kind of a car were you driving on August 24th of 2019?
A Toyota Prius.
Why does this make Meredith grin sheepishly and chuckle to herself? Is she... I mean, she's got these tattoos on her collarbone and a collection of facial piercings, but she's mocking William for driving a Prius? Wow.
It looks like we have a smug alert.
William had full insurance coverage from something called Kemper. Look, I got room in my mind for only so many insurance companies. I'm willing to forget about Liberty Mutual and their lonely man with an emu, but Kemper, you better come up with a mascot that's real good. Real good. I'm talking anthropomorphic calzone good. Hey, this is Kempeo Calzone, and I can save you a little off your car insurance. Just tell him the talking calzone sent you. Hey, I'm talking here. Within about a month, she got an estimate for the cost of the repairs, and later she got a check for those repairs. So, case closed. Why does Judy like this case? Is it the word Kemper? Does she find the word Kemper funny? Kemper. Oh, yeah. No, she's right. It's pretty funny.
What was the check that you got from Kemper Insurance?
It was 50% of the estimated repair costs.
Would you please tell me what was the amount of the check?
The amount was $715.43.
But $715.43. That wasn't enough for Meredith. She says she hasn't done a single thing with the check.
You signed a document that said that was in full satisfaction of your claim.
No, I did not.
You had to, otherwise they're not going to send you a check.
Maybe Kemper just goes by its own rules, Judy. Sending out checks this way, that way. Watch out. That check just ripped right past you. This guy I know, he lost 2 teeth, 1 arm, and his goddamn sense of self-worth after he got hit by a Kemper check. Yep, Jason Sudeikis hasn't been the same since. Meredith says that the car shop contacted Kemper and that Kemper said they pay for 100% of the repairs, but that the check she received was for only half that much, roughly 50%. I imagine I'm getting a little ahead of things, but it feels like Meredith's real claim lies with the repair shop and/or Kemper. Mechanics and insurance companies alike have well-deserved reputations for lying and stealing and cheating people out of money every way they can. Right, Dad? Meredith not only didn't cash the check, she brought it with her to court.
Take it out.
Based on Judy's tone, do you think that when she said this, she was hoping it'd be one of those big, oversized Publishers Clearinghouse checks? No, you're right. That is crazy. I guess I just feel like Ed McMahon set an unreasonable, unattainable expectation for checks. It's kind of left me underwhelmed anytime I see a regular check.
I'm actually liking this case.
Why? It's kind of boring. Last time we visited season 25, we had a dog attack. Now we're talking liability versus collision insurance, and look, I'm trying to bring it to life here, but Christ, I'm digging deep with these Ed McMahon references. Okay, well, Judy tells William that if his insurance company sent her a check, they must have found him at fault. He agrees, but with a caveat. He says that they must have only thought he was 50% at fault, since the check they sent was for 50% of the repair bill. I think I'm with him. Also, at the risk of repeating myself, it sounds like Meredith should be taking umbrage with Kemper, not with William. You wanna take umbrage with me, Kempeo Calzone, America's cheesiest insurance mascot? No capiche. Meredith shows photos of the damage, and the first one, I don't see any damage. It looks like she went to a cheap car wash and not all of the soap dried, and so she's kind of got white, streaky impressions on the car. I believe in a previous episode, Judge Judy called something similar schmutz.
Got some schmutz on the carpet.
So, respectfully, I will refer to this as schmutz. The first picture is of schmutz. I hope the second picture is better because look, schmutz is a headache.
Your joke was amusing, but come on, man.
Now, you have a check, so the estimate is for $1,430.
Correct.
To fix it. You got a check for them for $715. Can you tell me why you're suing him for $1,430?
Well, I'm
Should
suing him
actually
for
be
the
suing him
full
for-
amount because he's 100% at fault when he hit my car.
Hey, wait, Meredith, you're double dipping. Even if he is 100% at fault, which again, based on photo number 1 and all I'm seeing is schmutz, but fine. He's 100% responsible for the schmutz. Insurance already gave you half. Cash that check and then sue him for the other half. Or I don't know, get a washcloth and wipe off the schmutz.
So when I spoke with my insurance adjuster, he said you either accept the check they sent or you take Mr. Williams to court.
Wait a minute, she's not double dipping. She's been double crossed. And it was that 2-timing tub of pizza dough and ricotta who did it. What, me? I know double cross. I know double stuffed Oreo. I'm a Kempeo Calzone, cheesiest insurance mascot in all the 50 states, excluding Alaska. And if you don't like how much I pay for your damages, forget about it. I suppose then that's why we're here. Meredith chose to forget about the lowball offer from Kemper and sue William instead. Or maybe I use the gun from the progressive lady and I'll make you forget about it. All right, Kempeo, that's enough. Now, I guess it's Judy's duty to determine if William was really 100% responsible. According to him, William was preparing to make a left turn with Meredith coming up from behind him. Or...
I was in the middle lane on the street. He was in the lane to my right.
I guess this implies that William was trying to turn left from the right-hand lane.
He was somewhat behind me, like we weren't head-to-head on that.
So you were behind him, he was somewhat behind you, and he was trying to turn left from the right lane. Only in La La Land.
They call Los Angeles the city of angels. I didn't find it to be that exactly.
And then he decided to turn. He hit the front passenger side of my car.
Which explains the schmutz.
I was getting into the turn lane to make a left turn.
This seems pretty cut and dry. I think they're going to drag this out, and by all means, but it seems fairly obvious that he tried to overtake Meredith from the right lane and kind of sideswiped her. We'll go through the motions with Judy here, who's pretending to be confused, but right now at least it sounds like William was 100% at fault. Though I guess if you want to get pedantic, I guess society is a little at fault too. Like, why did we turn Los Angeles into such a car-dependent culture? Why have we consigned our whole lives to traffic? Left lane, right lane, middle lane, stop, go, stop, go. These are all social constructs. If we're allowed to blame society, I'd say it's only 10% William's fault, at most. William provides the diagrams that we saw in the teaser, and yep, he tried to overtake Meredith and clipped her on the way over into the middle lane. Although, I guess, looking at it, this PowerPoint 98 diagram does have Meredith in the left lane, about to merge into the turning lane. Does that matter? I'm what you might call a bad driver, so I'm not sure if details like these matter.
I'm the blue car.
Don't be so reductive. You're more than a blue car, William. You're a man with feelings and hopes and dreams, and yes, a blue car, sure, but you're so much more than that.
Which direction? Point to the direction that you're going. I see where her car is.
We're going this way.
In that direction.
Correct.
And
I had just
she is the orange.
Correct. So I just come from this direction on a street, and I took a left turn onto La Brea here.
I'm a little confused as to why this is so perplexing, Judy. Unless, does Judge Judy not drive? She grew up in New York and lived most of her life there, and most New Yorkers don't ever have to drive. She's also absurdly rich and so could probably well afford a driver. The way she's scrutinizing this diagram is no different from how I looked at trigonometry problems in high school. Except most people, they know which direction cars go on a street, and no one, literally no one in the world knows what a sine or a cosine is.
But she's in your space.
Right. That's the problem, Judy. When two cars in the same place go boom. Okay, William drops an important hint here. No, not important to the case at all. I think the case is pretty much solved. It was his fault, right? The important hint he dropped was that he was preparing to turn left from La Brea onto Romaine, like the lettuce, not the actress. Now I can help set the scene with some more one-of-a-kind, classic Los Angeles locales. There's a Best Buy. There's a concrete plant. There's a sit and sleep. That's a mattress store for you folks not in the know out in Tuscaloosa or Whippany or Quintana Roo. Never mind the West Hollywood Gateway parking garage. Whew, the magic of Los Angeles.
Hey, you see those people?
Yeah?
Well, those boobs and jerkwads are the best friends you'll ever have. Without them, you're nothing. Remember that.
And I wouldn't be making a turn because I know I was heading to Los Feliz.
Oh, shoot, more Los Angeles talk. Okay, if she was going up to Los Feliz or Los Feliz for you Cretans out in Bozeman, more like Bozo Man, she passed 2 smog check places, 1 cannabis cafe, and 1 strip club with just 3.1 stars off of 20 or so reviews. Los Angeles, come for the stars, stay for the, quote, ugly girls, bad music, bad management, and weak drinks. Needlessly belaboring the point, now we have Meredith's diagram that Jim Turn the intern had to make. She points out that she was in the middle lane, William was in the right lane, and that he tried to overtake her to get into the turning lane 3 lanes away to make the left onto Romaine. Romaine like the lettuce, not the model. William says that the damage to his car was minimal. That's what I thought about the damage to Meredith's car too, but that's neither here nor there. The repair shop still charged her $1,400.
It's an accident. It's not an on purpose.
See the case Oopsie versus Daisy as filed in the Louisiana State Superior Court of Oh No's for more information. Judy pretty much sides with Meredith's accounting of things, but she too identifies the real culprit here.
Your insurance company copped out.
William goes on to explain a little more of his version of things, including a name drop for America's most spineless peddler of crap, Target, but Judy doesn't seem swayed. But we go to a commercial break anyway because the producers clearly recognize that they had more time to fill. In the teaser, we get some more traffic law talk, perhaps betraying my theory that Judge Judy only gets pulled around by way of a gilded chariot with 6 Lippin-Zenner stallions in the front. Perhaps more interestingly, we get a clip from the second case, which is about a pricey pontoon boat. Imagine sitting there, contemplating turning the TV off or not when you get hit with that teaser. A pontoon boat that someone paid 3 times more money than they should have for. Now I've got to watch. Sorry, carbon monoxide alarm.
But there's a flaw in the other picture that she showed.
Well, okay, I'm sure William has some kind of strong proof, a smoking gun, maybe a dash cam, maybe security footage from a nearby business.
But I do have this Google map.
Hey, buddy, I'm the one using Google Maps here. I don't need you elbowing in on my territory. This guy really can't stay in his own lane, can he? Judy concedes that she's terrible at Google Maps, which convinces me that she does have a driver and perhaps a cartographer as well to handle all of her mapping needs. William's main argument is that he could not have been in the right lane because the rightmost lane is for parking.
There's 2 other lanes here.
Well, sometimes you can in California because if there's no parking between certain times and certain times, a whole...
Oh, this is true.
Sometimes it's a driving lane and sometimes it's a parking spot. Sometimes it's a driving lane, sometimes it's a parking spot. Come to California, nothing makes sense. Judy rules that William owes Meredith $715, which, when factoring in the check from his insurance company, covers the cost of her repairs. Hey, I ain't paying nothing. I got little Bambino Calzone's mouths to feed at home. Are you still here, Campeo? Get out of here. If you were at all curious why the accident happened, besides bad driving and poor infrastructure, Meredith provides a little insight.
He stated he was fiddling with the GPS.
Which, yeah, sure, I get. But I can't blame William for this. I can't blame Meredith or her shop. I can't blame either of their insurance adjusters, considering that they're probably mostly okay people doing a thankless, underpaid, and ultimately stupid job. I don't have beef with any of them.
Where's the beef?
My beef is with Kemper, William's insurance company. At the risk of getting whacked by a creatine-packing calzone, Kemper failed William in the way that insurance companies always fail people. Presumably, he paid his premiums on time. He had full coverage. And when it came time to cover an accident, as per the terms of their agreement with William and the unstated agreement that is a social contract binding all of us idiots together, they crapped out. According to various slightly questionable internet sources, Kemper's CEO, Joseph Lacker, who's been in the job almost 10 years, makes something like $11.4 million in total compensation. Imagine how impoverished he'd be if they covered 100% of the damage when their customers are 100% at fault. Okay, next case. From cars to boats. What will it be next? Brooms? Do you think they'll have a case about two witches who had a minor broomer bender on the way to a seance? Tune in next week but in the meantime, let's see what this thing about pontoon boats is all about. Our plaintiffs are a tag team, the Vesugis, Hamid and Susan. They're suing William Hill, no relation to our previous defendant, William Frankie. The Vesugis are suing William for the price of a pontoon boat, boat motor, and registration. No word yet on if they plan to use the pontoon boat to get from West Hollywood to Los Feliz via La Brea and Sunset, but I'll let you know.
You purchased what you call a party boat.
The subtext here is that what you consider a party boat doesn't compare to the yacht that Judy considers a party boat.
Sailing on a boat! I'm on a boat!
She didn't just pass the bar, she's got a bar. You're using Wi-Fi so you can play Van Halen on Spotify. She's got David Lee Roth doing a personal 3-month-long residency. And 25 years of daytime TV pays for a pretty nice dinghy, if you know what I mean. It's shaped like a gavel. That's what I mean. The Vesugis' so-called party, so-called boat, plus furniture and a motor, was purchased from Mr. Hill. However, they claim they are unable to register their boat because of issues on Williams' end. In total, they're asking for $5,000. The Vesugis share a picture of the boat, and it doesn't look like it was worth $5,000. It's big and it's rusty, and I think it was manufactured during the Ford administration.
You know what they say Ford stands for, don't you? It stands for fix it again, Tony.
You're thinking of a Fiat.
I imagine Jaws swimming up to the boat, giving it a nudge with his little shark nose, sniffing the air, but deciding not to eat whoever's on board because they'd probably give him food poisoning.
Are those pontoons on either side?
Yes.
So it's a pontoon boat.
Or as Jaws would call it, a case of the smelly belly.
And this pontoon boat is 30 years old, according to your complaint.
It's only 30 years old? Jesus, this is why you wear sunblock, kids. I thought we were talking senior special at the Sizzler, AARP, 2 bum knees and a titanium hip. But this boat was born after Home Alone came out? It's barely old enough to rent a shop vac to clean its own dirty floors. It grew up watching Carson Daly on TRL on MTV and has probably never had to write something in cursive in its entire life. It's 30? When other boats had piñatas at their parties, this boat had Charlie Sheen. This is a party boat, but it's also an object lesson, what it looks like when you go a little too hard.
Like I said, they say, nothing stops a party barge.
And how much do you claim that you paid the defendant for it?
$6,500 cash and $547 DMV fees.
That's like $18 for each urine stain.
Why would you pay him $6,500 in cash?
Money laundering? I'm thinking it's money laundering. There's no other reason other than to hide the vast fortune they've made selling counterfeit Costco cards off the 101 in Glendale.
And you can go on the internet and you can buy a 1989 pontoon boat for anywhere from $2,500 to $5,500.
Okay, so Judy had Jim Turn the intern do some research. Or Judy has amazing, if slightly niche, powers of perception that allow her to instantly conjure up realistic prices for boats that are in desperate need of dialysis. What a remarkable superpower that would be. Honestly, even $2,500 is too much for this thing. Unless you've been pushing knockoff Kirkland brand signature peanut butter filled pretzel nuggets off the 101 in Glendale for a little too long, and you're worried the U.S. Marshals might be on your tail, then, and only then, might I consider spending $2,500 on this boat.
And I have owned a pontoon boat.
Of course, it bears worth saying that her pontoon boat was mostly used to get across the artificial lake she had built on her yacht. Judy wants an explanation for what's so special about this pontoon boat that justify its outsized price tag. Susan tries to explain that, in their opinion, the boat was in good shape and still had value.
I'm not buying that.
I need to save up that sound clip to use as my reply whenever someone tries to tell me how well they're doing in their MLM. We've got a commercial break, and the teaser suggests that Judy is not done castigating the Vesugis for their prolific boat budget. And with good reason. Best case scenario, this thing sinks as soon as the Vesugis push it off the boat ramp at Lake Piru outside of Santa Clarita, and they're able to collect a big insurance settlement. Hey, maybe that's what's going on here.
Now, after you paid him, allegedly, $6,500 for the boat.
That allegedly is doing a lot of work in this sentence. It has to, because it's the only thing stopping Judy from saying what she really thinks.
You liar!
To fund their new boat habit, the Vesugis claim they sold a car. For cash. Okay, maybe. Or maybe they were selling lookalike Costco optometry lenses off the 101 in Glendale. Who's to say? It'd be pretty short-sighted to not discount the possibility, though. Judge Judy scrutinizes the bill of sale for the car. She's poking holes in their story as wide as the ones on the bottom of the boat.
In your complaint, you say, we decided to sell our speedboat and buy a patio boat.
Yeah, last I checked, a Mercedes is a nice car, but it makes for a terrible speedboat. The fact that Judy hasn't had William speak at all doesn't bode well for the Vesugis here. I would kinda want to hear his side of the story, but I'm looking at the clock, and unless Judy takes some kind of Mercedes speedboat, I don't know how she'll have time to wrap up interrogating the Vesugis and talk to William. The Vesugis continue to make it rain, paying William in cash for a new motor. The only proof they have of it is a withdrawal slip that could double as a ransom note. William chuckles to himself as Judy details the Vesugis' shopping spree, up to nearly $16,000. He did something, right? I mean, at the very least, he sold them this cardboard box masquerading as a pontoon boat. That has to be worth some of Judge Judy's ire.
And he might just get away with it.
So far you've spent $16,000 on a boat with no proof that the money went to him when you could have bought a 31-year-old boat for $5,000.
Wait, this whole time, has Judge Judy just been trying to sell them her boat? I think that's what's going on here. She's upset that they took all the money they made selling Necky and Champion running shoes outside of the Costco in Glendale and gave it to William when they could have given it to her.
I like the sound of that.
Judy rules against Susan and her husband Hamid, telling her to go back to small claims court to try her luck. William just pitched a perfect game. Victory without a single word spoken. Let the record book show we've got our first perfect game on Judging Judy.
He gave me stickers that don't even belong to my boat.
Any chance they were scratch and sniff?
Neither you nor your husband look like foolish people.
And we've got a real contender for best backhanded compliment. What do you say to this? No, we are foolish people. Or, thank you, you're right. We've been lying to hide all the money we made selling cat litter repackaged as Dubai chocolate because nobody can taste the difference. Off the 101 outside the Costco in Glendale. Now comes the most important, nay, the only important part of the show. The part where I get to cast judgment on Judy. I've got a whole bunch of imaginary, arbitrary, entirely fluid set of criteria. But here's the gist. Did Judy provide justice? In her decisions, in her demeanor, with her rulings, and with her attitude. If she did, she's innocent. If she didn't, she's guilty. This week, Judy's guilty. Case 2 was kind of a wash, since Judy's main focus was on the receipts and she didn't even let William speak. Let's just focus on Case 1, the car accident. Ultimately, is William at fault for running into Meredith's car? More or less. And is Judy all about personal responsibility? Sure. Well, William was responsible. He paid for full insurance. Many drivers eschew any kind of insurance and rely on blind faith and overconfidence alone. Not William. Of course, Meredith's car should have been fixed. The accident wasn't her fault, and she deserves to be made whole. So why am I saying Judy's guilty? Because she only briefly glossed over the true culprit here. Kemper, William's insurance company. Yes, it falls to William in the end. He was behind the wheel. But that's really, really crappy. Just imagine if Judy had used just a little bit of her rancor against Kemper. Imagine if she had treated them with the same sort of vitriol that she uses on the people who come before her in court. Of course, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't want to alienate potential sponsors. She's running a business, the business of Judge Judy. But that would have been the just thing to do, to actually hold Kemper responsible, even if only in name. I can almost guarantee that Kemper raised Williams' rates after the accident that they only chose to cover half of. Thankfully, due to the conceit of the show, William didn't actually pay Meredith. The producers did. But that doesn't change the fact that Kemper gets away with none of the blame here. They shirk their responsibility. And I expect Judy to more forcefully call that out. That sound means it's hangman time. And this ain't third grade hangman where you really ought to be focusing on improving your handwriting but have decided that if it's not gotten any good by age 8, it's never getting any better. No, this is hangman with stakes. If I win, I can bring a person of notoriety back to life. And today's candidate for resurrection is Betty White. You might remember Betty for her long commitment to animals, both pets and wildlife. Thank you for being a friend, Betty. Of course, if I don't win, I condemn Betty to an eternity of damnation, but that might not happen, so don't worry about it. As a reminder, I'm using hangmanwords.com, and I am well aware that this doesn't work on an audio medium. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. I guess I'll just play Hangman alone and not record it like a normal person. Hangman Words gives me 6 chances to be wrong, 6 incorrect guesses. This week I'm going to be using their music words list. So it'll be something related to music. And okay, so it's 4 words. The first one is 4 letters. The second one is 4 letters. The third one is 3 letters. The last one is 4 letters. Okay, I'm gonna go obvious. E as in elephant. No E's. Wow. Okay, so we have a head, our little hangman, which is substituting here for Betty White's chance at resurrection. It has a head. I have 5 more incorrect guesses. What about S as in salamander? There is only one S, and it's the 3rd letter of the first word. So it's blank blank S blank 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 blank. Perfect. Clear as day. Perfect for an audio medium. Let's try B as in badger. Okay, there's one B. It is the first letter of the 3rd word. I'm thinking that 3rd word could be either but or by. But no, can't be by. There's no E. Good catch. What about T? There's no T either. Wild. So now we have a torso, and I only get 4 more incorrect guesses. What about A? A is in Alvin. Famous for being a chipmunk. There's no A. Wow, only 3 more incorrect guesses. Wild. Okay, what about R? There's only one R. It's the 2nd letter of the 2nd word. So blank blank S blank 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 R blank blank B blank 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 blank. All right, N. So one N. All right, so now I have, it's the penultimate letter in the last word. So now I have 1 letter in each word. Okay, I mean, there have to be some vowels here. Let's go with I. All right, I opened up some stuff. So now it's blank blank SI blank blank R blank blank BI blank blank IN blank. I think that BI, I think that's the word big. So I'm gonna guess here G. Okay, it was big, but it didn't unlock anything else. So the 3rd word is big. Man. What about L? L as in the name L. Nope. Nope, so I'm down to 2 more incorrect guesses. We got a head, torso, both legs. I only have the 2 arms remaining. Okay, there has to be an O. There was, but there's only 1. Blank blank SI blank blank RO blank big blank IN blank. What about D? D as in Dover, Delaware. Oh no, 1 more. There's no D either. I think there's an F. I'm feeling like the first letter in the 2nd word is F. Okay, I was correct there. So that word is going to be from. So, okay. M opened up a lot. So it's M blank SI, the word from, the word big, and then blank IN blank. Huh. Music from big. Okay, let's just guess the C, because we know that first word's going to be music. All right, music from big. All right, guess the U. That didn't get, okay, so music from big, blank IN blank. Music from big. I don't think it'd be big pink. Big wink. Big. I mean, a lot's on the line here. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna guess K. It was K. So music from big, and then a word that is INK, but I don't know the first letter. We have PQHJVWXYZ. So it's not zinc, it's not yink, it's not zinc with an X. Wink, Vink, Jink, Hink. Music from Big Pink? I guess that's what it is. I have no idea. I mean, I didn't really save Betty. I brought her back to life, but I have no idea what music from Big Pink means. Okay, but I won. Against all odds, I pulled it off in the end. You're welcome, Betty. You're welcome, everybody. Now I just need a couple of minutes to figure out what music in Big Pink means. Okay, we've only got one more bit, and that is an out-of-context quote from Judge Judy. At least her new baby would be born drug-free, or would this violate her, quote, rights? Thanks again. Like, subscribe, share, fornicate, and listen to my other podcast, Sincerely Sydney. It's a lot more of me.